and appreciate you taking time to join us. And I'd like to take this opportunity to introduce a few of our many distinguished guests here today. To my left, our University of New Orleans President, Dr. Peter Foss, Southland Conference Commissioner Tom Burnett. I'd like to also introduce two of our UNO legends who have joined us today, Coach Ron Maestri, Gabe Corciani. Thanks for joining us. Also want to take a moment to introduce, because I think it's so very important, really the heartbeat of our department, our head coaches who are with us, because I know many of you may want to have some comments and wish them well. I'm going to start with Coach Kim Young. You can just stand up and wave. Our head volleyball coach. Coach Keyshawn Carter, head women's basketball coach. Coach Burzus Kanga, our head men's and women's tennis coach. Coach Ty Savan. He's from Cutoff, I have to say Savan. Coach Ty Savan. And brace yourself, head men's and women's cross country, men's and women's indoor track, and men's and women's outdoor track. All by himself right now, but we're going to change that. Coach Bruce Petty, baseball. Coach Chris McCarter, men's and women's golf. Coach Mark Schlesinger, men's basketball. Those individuals are really what make us go, and we appreciate all they do and everything that they've done to get us to this point. So today is an exciting day for the University of New Orleans, for our student athletes, our students, our alumni, and our entire family. In fact, today is the commencement of many, many, many exciting days ahead. And for that, we're extremely pleased to be standing before you today. And why all the excitement? Well, today's announcement is the beginning, or the renaissance, as Coach Schlesinger and I like to say, of the future of UNO athletics. So with that, I'm excited to introduce Southland Conference Commissioner Tom Burnett.
Well, good morning. It's always great to be in the city of New Orleans, where I spent 13 years in my previous position here in the city and the community, and it's always a great pleasure to be back. I think I'd like to start today with a few thank yous as well. Certainly thank Dr. Foss. He and I started to communicate back after, well, I guess it was back in the fall. Yeah, in January, that's right. We did meet in person and met twice, I think, there in January as he was coming on board, and it's been a real pleasure. And from a distance, certainly it's very gratifying to see what he has done with this university and pointing it in a great direction. And as we'll talk about today, hopefully the Southland Conference will be a part of that. I'd also like to thank Derek Morrell, who's still new, and I know your way around the building yet or anything like that, but he has been great to work with here in the last few weeks as we have, and really the last few months, I guess, since we've been working with him as well. So, and then I'd probably also like to acknowledge someone who's very dear to me when I was here in New Orleans, and that's Coach Maestri as well. And he was someone that, from a distance, as the university was, going through some issues, he and I would talk, and there was no question what camp he resided in, and the passion he showed for this athletic department that he helped build and help start, and he's been a key player in all this as well. And some other great friends in the room. Jim Miller's here as well. Dave Sherman, who I knew back in our days working at the Galleria in Metairie. Mike Donauer, back in the days of the Sun Belt and American South, we were working together on a lot of projects. So, and I know there's others in the room as well that it's really great to see and be associated with. Again, of course, Marco here with the arena and his staff, just a beautiful building, a great renovation, and a big part of our announcement today as well. So just a little bit, I think when we were here a month ago, we talked to some of you about our process and what we were looking for as a Southland Conference, certainly looking to enhance our league, make it better, and really focused on institutions, athletic programs that brought a lot of added value to our conference. Not only do we have added value with our announcement today, honestly, and I've told a few of you this already, I think we got a steal here. This is huge for this Southland Conference to get this major urban institution, a research institution in an area, a city that's very important to our conference, whether we have a school here or not. We've got a couple of nearby universities, but to have one in the city and to come compete here on a regular basis It's just fantastic. So in many ways, I think we got away with something here, and I'm happy about that. Don't get me wrong, but this is huge for our conference. But we're looking for great things, a great relationship in the future. And I guess I'd want to clarify one thing, maybe for the media here or any others who have followed this on the internet. All the invitations went out at the same time. There was no deferment, no delay, nothing that would have caused us to slow down on any of these membership decisions. Really what we see here is each university has a different way, a different timetable of making their announcements. You know, we had one Monday, which led some people to think that we weren't doing anything else, which was completely false. But our presidents met last week, and we've got one more campus visit on Saturday that I'll make in another announcement. But everything very positive in this process. Certainly there's no shortage of fans of what Dr. Foss is doing among our other Louisiana institutions, of course also in the University of Louisiana system. So that's all been very positive as well. So a little bit about our conference. You know, we're going to probably have a big configuration when all this is said and done. But we're a great regional conference. We're only in 4 states. A lot of that travel is by bus. We won't spend a whole lot of time in airports. So coaches, despite some late night drives home, you'll be able to get your student athletes back in class. And for, I don't know if there are any student athletes here today. Hopefully they're all in class today, right, Dr. Foss? But we're really about the student athlete. We really take care and really make them feel special in our conference. For so many of them, this will be the highest level of competition that they compete at, and we want to make that memorable for them. We want them to remember that very fondly for the rest of their lives. So we've got a great conference. We will celebrate a 50th anniversary next year in 2013. If you followed conference realignment, it's kind of a challenge to get to 50 years sometimes with some of these leagues. So we're very proud of that, and we feel like we're doing some really good things to solidify our membership. We do some neat things in the media. We have our own television network. We're doing some things with other television as well in the future that I think will be really good for the University of New Orleans as well. So again, very excited. Coaches, we look forward to working with you. I think you'll find there's a real strong family type atmosphere in our conference. Now when you step across the line and you compete, they're all trying to kill each other and compete. But I think when you come off the courts or the playing fields, what have you, you'll find a group of people that are interested in everyone's well-being, the general good of the conference, and people that understand that it's more than just themselves or their team or their department. It's about having a great conference that we can all be proud of. So we're obviously very excited, and I guess there's no secret here, Dr. Foss, and there's no really official way to do this unless you want to come up here, and I will say on behalf of our Southland Conference Board of Directors, our presidents, we are very pleased to invite the University of New Orleans to join the Southland Conference July 1, 2013. Congratulations. Welcome. You bet. Thank you.
Well, to make it really official, Commissioner Burnett, on behalf of the UNO family, we accept the invitation.
Thank you.
I need to tell you a little story. I actually signed the invitation and agreed last Friday afternoon. And Commissioner Burnett said, don't tell anybody, and Lyons sent me an email. I ain't worried. I didn't answer your email, if you remember. Instead of, I couldn't lie and say no word. I just didn't answer the email because the conference had particular reasons. I'm very excited today. This is really an exciting moment for me as a president. One of the first decisions I was told I had to make when I was selected president before I even started here was I had to decide whether to remain Division I, which y'all remember. I met with Commissioner Burnett in Baton Rouge, and then again in Dallas, just to sort of, in my fact-finding, understand, you know, what was important about the decision. Well, having a conference affiliation is essential, and so we're really honored and thankful that the Southland Conference actually wanted us to be part of their team, And we're looking forward to it. And as I've told people many times, and sometimes people, when I tell people things, they think I'm just kind of making things up. And no deference to the coaches, it has nothing to do about winning games. It has nothing to do about winning conference championships. What it has everything to do about is to let people know that the University of New Orleans really is a major university. We are the major urban university in the state. We're a major university in this country, and we have to be good at everything we do. We have to be the best at everything we do. So staying in Division I, getting in a conference is exactly the things we have to do, as well as having a great business school. It's what the university is all about. Now, we will have to win games, coaches. We will have to win conference championships, Mr. Athletic Director. And so those things will also have to happen. And as the commissioner said, what a perfect fit. We actually have some rivals in our own UL system. We actually have other teams that are just a short distance away. A dear friend of mine is a vice president at Lamar University, and I told him we're going to come into Lamar and beat them. And so, you know, what a great start of a renaissance, and Coach Sluss, that's a wonderful way to describe it, because, you know, we never were not Division I, but we were kind of fading away. So to get us back on track, this is great. Now, there's a couple of people that aren't here that I need to mention. One is Mr. Richard Giannini, who many of y'all have met since he helped us. Richard, as a favor to me, came and helped us in our search for athletic director, which I think we did really well, as well as our relationships with the NCAA and with the conference. And he wanted to come, but he's actually in Dallas. And I also have to thank my assistant president, my boss, Dr. Randy Moffitt, who early on told me, if you want UNO to be a major university in our system, you better play Division I athletics, because every other school in the system did. And if you know Dr. Moffitt, he said, I'm not telling you what to do, but if you really want this to happen, you will play Division I athletics. And he actually connected me with Commissioner Burnett the first time, so I need to thank him. Having a strong athletic program gives all the students something to be engaged in with our university, to be real UNO proud, which I am. It's more than about the student athletes. It's about all the students, especially the student athletes, to give us pride. So to be able to compete against the Southland Conference universities, to be able to hopefully play for conference championships, is exactly what this university needs to do and everything it does. I thank everyone for coming here this morning. This is a big day for our university. It's a big day for my presidency, because it's the first decision I really had to make. And as I told people, it's not the most important one I ever will make, but it will absolutely be the most visible one I ever made. One last person I have to recognize, my wife's here. My wife's a graduate of UNO, and she's my biggest fan. And I thank her and I love her for coming. And she reminded me today was Blue and Silver Day. That's why I'm kind of wearing this. But I think we'll take some questions, Commissioner. Okay, yes, we'll take some questions. If there are any questions.
There were some pretty deep divisions, you know, throughout UNO, Division I, Division II. This kind of served to heal all those wounds.
I certainly would hope so. You know, I wasn't here when all that was going on, but I am a very concerned alumnus, and I don't think everybody was on board that we shouldn't have not stayed in Division I. It was done for some reasons. Again, as I said the first time when I talked in March, I wasn't here, so I don't know the situations that were going on at the university to have those discussions, not to remain Division I. But I've had conversations, by the way, with faculty senate leaders that the president has to deal with those. And Ty, I need to tell you a story. He asked me a question. He says, faculty are concerned you hired a track coach. I thought we eliminated some positions. I said, I hired one person to do 4 jobs. I think you should thank me. Well, 6 jobs. I think you cross country too. I forgot about that. You should thank me for hiring one person to do 6 jobs, by the way. But faculty senate leadership told me we didn't really care what division we in as long as we're successful. And I think for us to be a successful major university, we got to be in Division I and be in a conference like the Southland Conference. So I really hope it does would heal any of those wounds or scars or hurt feelings. Any other questions?
Y'all gonna have 2 7-team divisions? Do y'all have?
It's a great question. Our athletic directors, including our newest here now, they're going to come to our conference office on Tuesday and Wednesday of next week. I threatened to lock them in a room and not come out until they, we'll have the white smoke or whatever when we come out with our formats. But seriously, that we've got to address scheduling immediately. This happens next fall, so we've got to have all these coaches need to know their schedules. There's no truth. I'm not going to send Coach Slesh on the road or Keyshawn on the road for every game, so don't believe what you've heard. But we've got to work out tournament formats. Is it divisions? Is it some type of modified round robin? There's for 17 sports, upwards to perhaps 14 teams in some of those sports. We've got a lot of work to do, and we'll get the athletic directors in the room and get working on that immediately.
And have there been talks about having maybe the basketball tournament here at UNO?
Well, I don't know that we've talked about it. Certainly, I have experience here at the arena. I was part of the Sun Belt staff when we hosted a tournament here, and certainly have seen big time basketball played here in this arena, and hopefully that will all return. Right now, we're currently contracted for a couple of more years over in the Houston area with our basketball tournament, where we've been for the last 6 years. So, basketball tournament locations, things like that, will always be reviewed on a regular basis.
By the way, part of our proposal is that we proposed that the arena could host tournaments as well as Privateer Park, Main Street Field. We gave those things. By the way, this season, our men's tennis team will be an affiliate member of the Southland Conference and play a Southland Conference schedule. By the way, that preceded all these things today. So we'll get a taste of the conference this year.
With us now being affiliated with the Southland Conference, how do you see re-engaging the student body population back into UNO sports and having more UNO pride with our sports teams?
Oh, sure. Well, I've mentioned this often. We're now going to play recognized opponents. We're going to play teams where our students may have gone to high school with some kids at Southeastern, Nichols State, McNeese, even Lamar, Northwestern State. So we've had sort of built up rivalries already. Now, we also have sort of with the new athletic director and the direction, everybody might ask me, what direction are you going with that? It's like, well, we Division I, we Southland Conference, we're going to start winning conference championship soon. So we have a direction. And in fact, opening night at basketball this year with the Lady Privateers playing first, followed by the men December 9th against a WAC conference team, San Jose State. San Jose State has been to the tournament several times, right, Coach? And that's a good way to start. And Keyshawn's going to beat Northwestern State that night as well. We play Northwestern State. We're not playing Christian Brothers from Memphis. And I'm not talking about Christian Brothers from Memphis, but we're playing teams that our kids know people who go there, may have transferred from Northwestern State, right, coaches? So I think it'll be easy for us, and some of you people sitting here will have to help us to engage the students. And I know Dr. Kempkins here, my VP for Student Affairs, to get everybody engaged. And Edie will write stories in the Driftwood to let students know that this is part of being a UNO student, is coming over to the arena and cheering for the basketball team, men and women, going to Privateer Park and cheering. And Ty, if we have a cross-country meet here, which we could, to come out there and cheer, go to Ted Gormley Stadium. Go to the HPC and see Kim's volleyball team beat Nichols State September 17th, Kim? 11th. I was close. Okay. So hopefully this conference affiliation will actually re-energize the students on campus to give them more activities.
But it's an exciting time, and we are fully confident that we'll have a lot of support, and that there's already a buzz. There's already a buzz, and there's energy in the room. I think there's excitement, and I know there's excitement. And everything's been positive so far, and we're going to take advantage of that and move this thing forward very quickly.
Have you signed any new sponsors or anything like that?
Once I sign employees, then we'll sign in sponsors. But yeah, no, we're working on that. We've got the plate's full, and this was obviously our primary focus was to make sure that Commissioner Burnett and his staff felt absolutely confident with us as a highly competitive member of the league, and we're going to be that. And with that comes a great development effort, comes great corporate partners. Comes great involvement from our former student athletes, so we intend to get those folks re-engaged in our program. That's going to be a significant focus, and hopefully the student athletes in the room, our plan is to keep them engaged once they graduate and walk across the stage and get their degree, that they continue to come back and be part of the program, because once we have that, then momentum continues to build.
Let me say something. Lions, following up on that, the group we have to also thank is the Poverty Athletic Foundation, and many of the board members are here. Mike Sapera is back there as president. Mike, you're the president of PIF, is here, and we've actually always had their support, and I think we can get more support from them now that we have this wonderful conference affiliation.